Hello, everybody. How are you all? It's good to be back, and I want to thank Nelly or Neris straight away. Since last week's episode, I had an injection for my hay fever, and I have to say it's working. It's working a treat. So, Neris, thank you very, very much. What a lovely day it is. Here he is. Good morning, Jordan. Jordan is a future star of our industry. So, and I think I may know your answer to this. Everybody, if you are watching, please do. And here's Josh. Hello, Josh, mate. How you doing? Please do say hello. And do you have a claim to fame, or what's the thing you sort of go to if someone says, "Oh, tell me something interesting about yourself"? It's an old cliched icebreaker, but let's see what we've got. Hello, Scott. Good morning. Good morning to you, sir. Evening. Good evening, mate. Sorry about that. I just fell into that accent. Hello, Cameron, joining us all the way from Australia. Um, Hello, Mike. How are you doing? Loving your YouTubes, by the way. Keep them up. Really interesting. Oh, lovely. Julie's here. Morning, everyone. For a change, the weather is amazing up north. I believe you. I really, really do. And I'm pleased to say I am sharing a table at the awards with Julie and all of the team. So I'm very, very lucky. We're going to have a scream. Farhad, hello, mate. How are you doing? Laura's here. Hello, Laura. Good morning. And Steph as well. Hi, Stephanie. Hello. So, is anyone going to admit to their claim to fame? That can be whatever you want, but what do you tell people when you first meet? You know, when you have some of those really awkward sessions, um, it should be less awkward because you're not actually seeing each other. All you're going to do is commit this to typing. But what is your claim to fame or something interesting about you that we might not know? Um, Julie Mordew, currently 24 degrees in Manchester, loving the north at the moment. And Matt's here. Good morning, Matt. So, Cheryl was then Tweedy, used to babysit for my son when he was a baby. Wow. There you go. Did you ever meet Ashley Cole? Or was that was much later, I guess, was it? Wow. Cheryl Tweedy used to babysit for my son. Could you tell she was going to be a star, Julie, at that young age? Um, so that is raising the bar straight away. Luke's here. G'day, mate. Also an Aussie, but still in the UK, if I'm right, Luke. Is that right? I know you were going to go there for a bit, but I think you're still residing in the sunny UK. What's your claim to fame? What is your claim to fame? Mine isn't really as good as Julie's. Didn't get to meet him. Oh, that's a shame. As you can tell, I went straight to football because mine's football based. A long, long time ago in my youth, I actually got to pretty decent level, and I was playing semi-pro, and we played Chelsea in the FA Youth Cup, and I got man of the match. And then I got horrendously injured in the replay. um, my wife is my claim to fame. She's been on a couple of TV shows, documentary type topics, and named in a few books now. Wow. That has intrigued me, Mike. I need to know more. I lived next to the old Labour chief whip. Not quite a claim to fame. Well, that's my side of the aisle, that one is, Stephanie. Who would that be then? It wasn't Peter Mandelson, was it? Is that who you live next door to? Or Alistair Campbell? Oh no, he was communications. Anyway, these are good. Keep them coming. Hello, David. When I was 6 or 7, I lived in Budapest, which was during the Russian occupation. Wow. I used to go around the city with my brothers, followed by the KGB, in case we were running messages. Wowzers. That is a good one, David. That's great. Were you running messages? Is this a double bluff? Cam has deadlifted 185 kilograms. Wow. Let's Cam's got some skills and some strength. Um, before Peter Mandelson. Mm, now you're testing my political knowledge. That was my degree was in politics, so I should know. And good morning, Dave. Followed by the KGB, no less. So these are some really, really good ones, everybody. Keep them coming, please do. I've got a really good session lined up for you all today. We're going to have our question in a second. Then, for those of you, Charles Morris, thank you. That would have bugged me. Thanks, Stephanie. That would have really bugged me. Um, if you remember, also last week, if you replied yes to, oh, hold on, another one coming in. I was in the world's creepiest photo bombs for the Daily Mail. Does that count? You have to share that picture now, Kerry. Come on. 1966 to 1970. I'm thankfully before my time, so that's why I didn't know, I'm going to say. If you remember, some of you may have already entered. I'm just having a look at the names here. If you're on last week's show and you said yes at the end of the show in the comments, you are entered into a prize draw, and we're going to do the prize draw today. But so far, I think hardly. I know Jordan, you're here. You're in the draw. David, you're in the draw. Farhad, you're in it as well. Okay, good. So let's hope it's one of you guys that wins, but it's totally random. So we're gonna do that. Now, I want to go on to our first question. Oh, sorry. I should have started by saying thank you to Sabio. They are my partner for this episode. They're always very supportive of me. They won't mind me delaying thanking them, but without them, I couldn't do this show. So thank you. They're sponsoring this episode. So thank you very much, Sabio. Now then, the first question of the day. What are the pros and cons of working in our industry? Jordan's very confident. Size large, please, mate. I love it. Put it out in the universe, Jordan. See what happens, isn't it? So here is our question for the day. What are the pros and cons of working in our industry? And I'll tell you for why the reason I put this question in is I was asked it recently whilst having a beer after a game of football. I said, oh, I always say the call center when it's people that don't work in our industry. Do you do the same? I don't say contact center, I say call center because people know what that is. And my mate said, oh, so what's the good and bad bits about working in your industry? And I would love to hear what you say. Um, Hello, Rich. How are you doing? Good to have you here. Phil's here. Morning, all. Can't join today, but I do have a claim to fame. I once briefly held the international record high score for a PC game called Freezer Frenzy in around 1992. Held the record for 3 months before it was wrestled from me by a 9-year-old. Now, Phil, please don't tell. If you want, David can help you track down the 9-year-old with his KGB kind of espionage skills. He won't be 9 anymore. And maybe you could challenge him to another game. What a great one. So, the pros and cons. David's going, people are the pros, people are the cons. I love it. That's great. Obviously, this was my first port of call was for pros was the people. People like yourselves that are watching, people that you get to meet in the industry, and the people that are around you all the time. I think you can't do well, and you can't stay in this industry, can you? Unless you like and being around people. Working with people is great, and also one of the biggest challenges. It's true. It's true. Julie, one of the cons being the perception of the industry is very outdated. So true. So you can, that's why I quite liked my friend's question. It wasn't just, oh God, that must be bad, which is one of the things that I've had in the past, and I'm sure you've all had as well. Um, It is one of the big cons is the perception. It's only through us talking to people, though, I think that we can change that. Jordan says the sheer amount of targets, pressure, uh, walk out of work a diamond some days, walking coal. The pros are the people you work with for the most part. So true, mate. So true. Hard work forges diamonds, isn't it? Um, Stephanie says such an eclectic mix of people. It's really true. I remember very early on in my career, always feeling like our contact center was a bit of a bubble. We were so inclusive, we were so equitable, way before some of these things were big issues in society. And that was because it was an eclectic mix of people. It was brilliant. Um, Mike says, my negative is rigid quality scoring based on a textbook call outcome as opposed to real conversation. You should speak to BPA quality about that. They would love that. They'd have a long conversation with you about that, mate. But very, very true. I agree. Um, Luke, pros, people focused, high satisfaction from helping people, low is low egos in the industry. Love it. Contact centers are still undervalued by many organizations. Correct, David. They're seen as cost centers, aren't they, rather than customer centers, centers where loyalty can be increased, retention can be increased, sales can be increased. We all know this, don't we? Scott says, pro, lots of career avenues, cons, perception of those outside the industry that it isn't a career. Really true. Matt says, con, people not appreciating the complexity and challenge that comes for everyone working in this space. We do have a problem, don't we, with the perception. Um, so that is a really good point, Matt. Stephanie, cons, the quality of tech we expect the agents to operate across and the amount of changes we often implement, especially in outsourced environments. Very true. Well, that was my background, an agent, team leader, and then manager in an outsourcer. Um, and tech projects were done to us, and we had little or no time to kind of get used to a new way of working with a new bit of technology. And it was very, very tricky. It caused us a lot of consternation amongst the teams. Um, Joshua, I guess one of the good things is that everyone in this industry has a mindset to become the best contact center, whether that's streamlining processes or getting the best outcomes for customers. We never stand still, do we, Josh, in our industry? So I love that comment. Love it. Cons, perception, explaining what you do at barbecues. Yes, it hardly sets the world on fire, does it? But it does interest people. And it's in that moment of interest that you can do your bit to change the perception. I'm sure a few tinnies with you, Luke, and they're probably trying to sign up to the nearest call center, aren't they? Kerry, I hear a lot about being blamed for a lot of operational custom issues that are not actually rooted in the contact center. Really good point, Kerry. The contact center bears the brunt, doesn't it, of customer issues that are not caused by them. So, but then of course, it's not helpful to say, "Oh, actually, it wasn't our fault." Customers don't care, do they? Okay, so hi, Rich, again. So, people definitely the pro, though I enjoy it less from home. That's very true. The negative, I think the stereotypical view of call centers doesn't do justice just how far the industry and technology have come. Really, really good point. I'm like you. I love my little broom cupboard here. Oh, poor reference by me. But I do miss being in a contact center. I like the bit of balance, I think, now. But the stereotypical view, it's coming up all the time, isn't it? How do we break this down? Pro, opportunities that come within the industry and the people that make the difference for the organization, colleagues, and customers. So true. Um, that's, I think, when the penny dropped for me, my epiphany was when I realized I was sat thinking, hold on, all these people in all these support functions started like me on the phone, so I could stay here and do really, really well for a career. Um, so absolutely, endless opportunities that we don't probably talk enough about. So let's have a look. Stephanie says, Pro, so many career options available to agents to progress towards. Con, this is little known or thought about outside the industry. That is so true. Again, that's just what I was saying, that kind of, we don't do enough to tell people that even before induction, but at recruitment fairs and careers fairs and getting out into centres of further education where you can talk to the next generation of people coming in and say, whatever you are interested in, there is a home for you to have a good career in a contact centre. Pros, the buzz and the noise. Yes. It's like a drug, isn't it? Allegedly. Pros, you don't need a degree to progress with careers in call centres. Very true. Like I was saying, Jordan, it's a very equitable place based on your hard work and not anything else. And I think we are a better industry for that inclusivity. So absolutely agree. Some great points here. And it's interesting, isn't it, that the majority of cons are all about the perception of our industry. And certainly my view is that whilst there can be some big things that are done, I guess all it would take would be a TV show to be done that becomes popular and portrays us in an accurate light, let's say. But the chances of that happening are quite slim. I think for me, it's all about localized activity. As I was saying, going into schools and colleges and talking to people, but equally at a personal level, changing people's perceptions of the people around you. Like Luke said, people at barbecues and things like that. That's our opportunity to change perceptions, person by person, bit by bit. But I would love to know what you guys think about how we can change the perception of our industry. What do you think? What can be some of the things that we could do? Whilst you ponder that, I'm going to have a coffee. Keep the points coming in, but we are now going to go to a favorite section of the show. It's one you all love. I know you do, and I know you especially love the VT. Yes, I love it. It's our read along. So hopefully by now you've seen one of the shows previously and you know that we are currently going through Contact Babel's Contact Center Decision Maker Guide of 2023. It's a really, really interesting document. This will be the first time that I've ever... oh, hang on. Can anyone remember the call center documentary? Maybe a new one needed to demonstrate what the industry is like these days. Wasn't it called The Call Center? Is it the one on BBC Two with Nev, who sadly passed away? The contact center that was based in, I want to say Newport or Swansea. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But I think it was called The Call Center. Again, please, somebody else come in and let me know if I've made it was that. Yes, that was the one. And I know I saw Nev at the expo, actually. He was speaking at the same time as me. So he had about 500 people listening to him, and I had about 12. 9 of them were for the company I was working at, BPA. Anyway, so it is the read through. Here we go. Yeah, it was based in sunny Swansea. Yeah, it was the one based in Swansea. Remember it well. Maybe we need a new one. I could film one. There's an idea. I could film one. If you've got a contact center and you don't mind me being there, then perhaps we could do that. Tales from the contact center. Yes, it was a call center. Although it was fabulous entertainment, it took the industry back about 10 years. I tend to agree. It was entertaining, but for people that didn't know our industry, I don't think it particularly helped. Although you did get a sense of the community and how much fun people were having, um, and all of that kind of stuff. But certainly from a professional organisation, I don't think it helped at all, Julie. So I'm with you on that one. Um, but yeah, let's do another one. We have our greatest ideas together here, I think. So why can't we do another one? Julie, maybe me and you can get involved and go and see some contact centres. Right, let's get on. It's time now for some stats. And it's time, I think, one of the things that I think this really helps with is it validates some of your thoughts, maybe changes your mind on some things, but gives you the facts behind some thoughts and some statements. So we are now up to a section here, customer preference to speak with a person or use self-service if the outcome and time were identical. So, and they've split this by age. So you are asked if the outcome is going to be the same, what would you prefer? Would you prefer to speak to a person? Would you prefer to use self-service? And you can see that regardless of the demographic, the age range, the vast majority would prefer to speak to a person. You can see the lowest one in the 35 to 44 bracket, which sadly I'm no longer in. 15 was the lowest, but still high, if that makes sense. I'm gibbering. 59% said they would speak to a person. The average across all of those age ranges, 72% said they still want to speak to a person. Isn't that fascinating? 14% on average have no preference, and 13% use self-service, would prefer to use self-service. So if the outcome is the same and the time is the same, what do you want to do? Do you want to speak to a person or do you want to use self-service? And of the respondents, and I know that this is statistically valid, we're talking a couple of thousand consumers here, not decision makers within the industry, but consumers, customers in all of those age ranges, 72% said they still want to speak to a person. Does that surprise you? Does it reassure you? I find that very interesting. Julie said, "Yeah, let's go and see some contact centres." She would love that. Me too. I can see it now. The TLC series, Team Leader Community. Yes, we could get it on the road. So, but when it comes to this, are you surprised that 72% said they still wanted to speak to a person if the outcome was the same? I feel like there's another layer missing from this, and that is the complexity. I imagine if it's very, very transactional, I'm not sure, speaking personally, whether I'm that bothered if I speak to a person or use self-service. If it's not transactional and it needs a bit and it's more detailed, I definitely want to speak to a person. Steph says self-service can still be difficult with dead ends that lead to people. So I think people on the whole still want to speak to a person. As tech improves in the next few years and creates better experiences, I think this percentage will reduce. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, that's one to watch, isn't it? Okay, moving on. We now have, will reduce. Yes. We now have the average time it takes our industry to handle emails. So you can see 43% said that SLA was between 1 hour and 1 day. 16% said it was they completed responding or dealing with emails in less than an hour. 16%, 1 to 5 days, 31%, greater than 5 days, 5%. And my favorite group of respondees, 5% said they don't know. The data overall doesn't surprise me. The next level decomposition I expect will be different by industry, etc. Some folks I will happily web chat with, but some you need human contact more generally. Very true, Rich. Very true. Stacey Dooley, who is brilliant, did a brilliant BBC miniseries a few years ago with BGL in Sunderland. More of those, please. I'll have to check that out. I can't remember seeing that. So, are your SLAs, if you're dealing with emails, around the same as this, or what do you think of this? It feels like it's long. It's still very long. Obviously, we're trying to get as many as possible in the less than an hour section. 1 hour to 1 day seems a very wide margin, doesn't it? And then 1 to 5 days. Interesting. Okay. How does that compare with the average length of a web chat? So for our web chats in our industry, a pretty even split. Web chats that are less than a minute is only 8%. Web chats that take 1 to 3 minutes is 18%. 3 to 5 minutes, 18% as well. 5 to 10 minutes, 22%. Less than 10 minutes, 21%. And we don't know, 13%. Web chats, what do we think about this? I don't think there's anything particularly surprising here. I'd be interested to know how a lot of companies measure the web chat. Is it from start to finish, or just the time? There's a time restart every time people are engaging. Okay, moving on. Human AI email and web chat handling. So where are we at with emails? So for emails, you can see 90% are handled entirely by agents in our industry. 7% has AI to suggest answers to agents, and 3% handle the response without agents. Now, for web chat, a different picture. 50% of web chats in our industry are handled entirely by agents. 31% have AI suggest the answer to agents, and 19% has AI handle the response completely without agents. So I would love to know what you think about that. Does that kind of tally with what you think? Josh, I did a web chat with Vodafone last week and was on a chat for over 90 minutes. Wow. That is a long time. Maybe they would have responded don't know on that one. So when you look at this here, does this match your thoughts around AI, how AI is being used? Is this going to change now with the proliferation and adoption of ChatGPT? Because I imagine when this survey was being done, there wasn't the same, ChatGPT wasn't a thing. So you'd like to think maybe this, not like to, but are these numbers going to change? Certainly on email, you think 90% handled entirely by agents did surprise me. It seems our email as a channel hasn't moved on much from when it was first used. It seems a bit antiquated based on some of these stats. Okay, why are people using AI? So, current and predicted use of AI applications. And the only respondents here are people that are currently using AI. You can see that the vast majority are using AI for automated web chatbots. 84% use this now is the green. 66% use AI right now for supporting agents with real-time information and suggested answers. 59% are using it for workforce management and quality monitoring. 55% are using it to replace IVR processes and intelligent routing. And 52% are predicting customer behavior and requirements. But it's that section there that the greatest usefulness has been reported. So 36% said they would find that very, very useful. What do we think about that? Do we believe that's going to be useful? We're going to use AI to predict customer behavior and requirements? Does that mean the customer will interact with a chatbot first, and based on the chatbot and AI, we will be able to predict what the next action is for the customer and complete that? It's very, very interesting. What does everyone think? Okay, moving on. We're now into the cloud-based section of the report, and proportion of respondents using cloud-based contact center solutions by vertical market. Joshua says, I think AI and IVR routing could be used more. If I go back, what was that one? Yes, it's currently used 55% of the time. 23% said do not use but would be useful. I agree with you, actually, Josh. You'd expect, I guess, to see, because it's very much a set of rules, isn't it? You'd expect that to be higher. So really good point. Right, cloud-based. Leading the way is utilities, with 100% of respondents in the utilities market said we are using a cloud-based contact center solution. The stats are very high, 79%. Sticking out, really, transport and travel, with only 57% of respondents saying they're using cloud-based contact center solutions. Oh, can someone else help me out here? What does TMT mean? No such thing as a stupid question, but what's TMT? You'll see most of the others reasonably similar, but 100% of utilities respondents in this survey said that they are using cloud-based contact center solutions, which is very interesting. Someone help me out though. What's TMT? I looked at it and thought, I don't know what that means. I'm going to not mind looking foolish, and I'm going to ask the question of the lovely people that watch this show. Okay, still on cloud-based. Planned and future cloud-based functionality. So you can see here along, oh, thank you everybody. Technology, media and telecoms. Lovely. I should know that, shouldn't I? Tech, media and telecoms. I don't mind Googled it. Cheers, Jordan. You're too nice. Technology, media and telecoms. Thank you, everybody. Okay. So, for call recording, 65% use it right now. Another 22% said they're going to get it within 2 years. I don't know if you heard it then, but Hugo is sat the other side of this desk and he's snoring. Call routing functionality, 64%. IVR speech recognition, 59%. Workforce management, 57%. Speech analytics, 44%. That is a surprise. Only 44% have speech analytics being cloud-based. Another 54% saying they are going to get it within 2 years. I thought that would have been higher. So I'm assuming this means that most people have on-premises kit rather than cloud-based for speech, which does surprise me. Okay, so we are now we're well with 360 pages in now. So we're doing well. But hopefully everyone's feeling just a little bit more informed. You've got a few more stats to back up some of your thoughts, and it's helping you in conversations and just thoughts around our industry. So we're going to have more of that later. It is time. It's time for on track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Here we go. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to have our giveaway, and here we go. Here's the window. There you go. So there's some names here. I know from David, Farhad, Jordan, you're all here. I'm fingers crossed it's one of you, but here we go. We're going to spin the wheel. Oh, this is to win. Why do I always get this wrong? This is to win one of these shirts. So good luck, everybody. We're going to spin the wheel. Let me just check first. I'm not. Okay, here we go. Are we ready? It's Dan Cohen. It's Dan Cohen. Well done, Dan from Nespresso. So, Scott, did you? Where's my name? Did you say yes last week in the comments? Well, actually, I'm going to do it again. This time it will be well, congratulations, Dan, first of all. I will be sending Dan a Get Out a Wrap t-shirt. This time, if you want to win a Team Leader Community t-shirt, please just write yes in the comments. And Scott, if I missed you out, I will be sending some stuff your way. Just back on the thing, implementing is one thing. I'd be interested to know how it is leveraging improvements and efficiencies. Very true. So Dan won that. Well done, Dan at Nespresso, a regular viewer, although he's not here today. If you would like, we're going to do the competition again next week, but this time it is for a Team Leader Community t-shirt. If you would like to be entered, please just write yes in the comments. Scott, I will send you something if I've missed you out. I think I must have done if you're saying, where's my name? Not in that voice, of course, but I will get some stuff sent out to you anyway. And please do enter for next week. We'll make it a little bit of a regular thing. Jordan, you've got to manifest it somehow, isn't it? Oof, it's a yes from me. So yes, Julie's in, Josh is in, Rich is in, Jordan is in. It's a lovely Team Leader Community t-shirt, very similar to this one, but with the Team Leader Community badge on it. And it's a big badge on the back as well. So let me just tell you what's coming up soon. Yeah, all good. Yes, next week. Thanks, Scott. I'm still going to send you some goodies. Anyway, no one leaves here empty-handed. Let's just have a look about what's coming up. So this Friday is a podcast about consumer duty. It's coming up, and I'm very lucky to have Helen and Pete from BPA Quality talking about, are you going to be ready or not? No show next Tuesday. I doubt I will be back in time from the CCMA Awards that are happening on Monday night in London. As I said at the outset, I'm going to be with Julie and everyone from Green Bean. But please do come over and say hello. I will have some equipment to be able to record a quick podcast, a quick hello. And of course, I'm going to be drinking wine. Hold on. Need a t-shirt with your face on it. See how many Martin t-shirts you can get into contact centres. A little bit like Carl Pilkington when he was when Ricky Gervais was doing the podcast. Pink making the call centres wink. So this is a pink shirt, a pink logo for the Team Leader Community. That would be hilarious, Josh, seeing seeing my face everywhere. I wouldn't want to wish that on anyone, though. It would definitely affect performance. Yeah, I won't be in any fit state. I won't be. So, but I will be there at the awards in London on the 19th. If you are going, please do come over and say hello. I will have equipment to be able to record a quick chat, and I will put that all together into an awards podcast. Very pleased to say that the next Friday there's going to be another masterclass in the team leader community. If you have team leaders or you yourself want to be a member of the team leader community, everyone is welcome. Then I'm off on a little trip. I am going to Motherwell in sunny Scotland to see Ascensos and to chat to their team leaders who've now joined the community, and I will be videoing and recording there as well. So lots to look forward to. I would particularly focus on this Friday for the podcast and also the awards next Monday because they're going to be great. Anyway, thank you all so much for giving up some of your time, watching, getting involved. Your comments, as usual, are brilliant. You massively are the reason that this show has so many people watching, because you add real value and you certainly make it entertaining for me. So thank you very much. I won't see you next Tuesday, but I could see you next Monday night if you're going to the awards. If not, look out for us coming to a contact center near you to do a documentary. So have a lovely time, everyone. Have a lovely week, and I hope you get to enjoy the sunshine.